Welcome back, my friends. Tonight, the New York Rangers head to Sunrise, Florida, to face the high-flying Panthers. Two teams, two very different paths, but one thing's certain, this game holds opportunity. The Rangers, with their 1-6-1-8-1 record, are fighting tooth and nail to stay relevant. They're on a 3-game losing streak, scoring just 18 goals in their last 10 outings. But don't let their struggles fool you. Artemi Panarin and the Rangers still have the firepower to cause problems, especially against a defense that struggled to hold the line. Now, let's shift to the Panthers. At 2-2-1-3-2, they sit proudly atop the Atlantic Division, powered by an offense averaging 3.35 goals per game. Names like Tkachuk, Reinhart, and Barkov roll off the tongue for good reason. They've been electric. But defensively, that's where the cracks show. Florida allows over 3 goals per game, and Sergei Bobrovsky's inconsistency in net adds fuel to the fire. Here's where it gets interesting. The total is set at 5.5, and the Stars are aligning for a high-scoring affair. Florida's offense alone could push this over, but add the Rangers' defensive struggles into the mix, and you've got the recipe for fireworks. After weighing every factor, the offensive depth, defensive vulnerabilities, and recent trends, the choice is crystal clear. And today's AI pick is over 5.5 goals. Think about this, Florida has scored 3 or more goals in 23 games this season. Meanwhile, the Rangers' defense has allowed 11 goals in their last 2 outings alone. The numbers don't just suggest the over, they scream it. Now, as we leave the sunny shores of Florida behind, it's time to turn the page and focus on what's next. On to Game 2.
My favorite kind of matchup, a tale of dominance versus despair. Tonight, in the frozen depths of Winnipeg, the Predators face off against the Jets. One team spiraling, the other soaring. And my friends, we already know how this story ends. But first, let's unpack it, shall we? The Nashville Predators have been nothing short of abysmal this season. With a record of 11-18-7, they sit in the shadows of the Central Division, gasping for relevance. Their offense: barely a flicker, scoring a dismal 2.44 goals per game. Philip Forsberg and Jonathan Marchessault have done their part, but the rest of this squad, an afterthought. And defensively, it gets worse. Allowing 3.17 goals per game, this unit has been carved apart time and time again. Now, I'll give credit where it's due. Giu Saros has been a lone beacon in net. A 0.903 save percentage and flashes of brilliance have kept the Predators from complete collapse. But brilliance can only go so far when the walls around you are crumbling. And then we have the Winnipeg Jets. Oh, what a sight they've been. With a record of 26-10-1, they don't just lead the Central, they command it. Scoring an electrifying 3.7 goals per game, their offense has been relentless. Kyle Connor, Mark Sheffield, Gabriel Villard, their names alone are enough to send shivers down an opponent's spine. But it's not just their offense that shines. Winnipeg's defense: rock solid. Allowing only 2.46 goals per game, they've built a fortress around their net. And the guardian of that fortress: Connor Hellebuyck. With a 0.928 save percentage and an eye-popping 23.3 goals saved above average, he's been nothing short of elite. So what does this all mean for tonight? It means the Predators are walking into a storm they cannot survive. Winnipeg's offensive firepower and defensive discipline are simply too much for Nashville to handle. And tonight's AI pick is Jets Moneyline. This one is as close to a sure thing as it gets. The Jets are in peak form, riding a 3-game winning streak and playing on their home ice. Take the Jets, sit back, and watch the Predators get swept away. Until next time, my friends. On to Game 3.
Good evening, friends. The final game of the night takes us to the Pacific Northwest, where the Utah Hockey Club squares off against the Seattle Kraken at Climate Pledge Arena. Two teams trying to claw their way out of mediocrity, but tonight, there's a clear path to value. Let's begin with Utah. They've stumbled into this matchup on a 3-game skid, but don't write them off just yet. The hockey club boasts one of the more reliable goaltenders in Karel Vejmelka. With a 2.32 goals against average and a 0.918 save percentage, he's been a bright spot in an otherwise turbulent season. While their offense hasn't exactly lit the world on fire, averaging just 2.94 goals per game, Methes is a team capable of exploiting weak goaltending. Enter the Kraken. Seattle snapped a 5-game losing streak in their last outing, a chaotic 5-4 overtime victory against Vancouver. but the cracks in their armor are glaring. Philip Grubauer, their likely starter tonight, has been struggling mightily. A 3.66 goals against average and a 0.873 save percentage are numbers that scream opportunity for Utah's offense. And tonight's AI pick is Utah Hockey Club Moneyline 110. This one comes down to the battle between the pipes. Vejmelka has been consistently solid, while Grubauer has been a liability for Seattle. With Utah eager to break their skid and the Kraken's defensive woes in full view, the Hockey Club has the edge in this matchup. Now, let's recap the evening's action. Game 1, the Panthers vs. Rangers, where our pick was the over 5.5 goals. Expect an offensive showcase as Florida's firepower and New York's vulnerabilities collide. Game 2, the Predators vs. Jets. The pick was the Jets moneyline, riding Winnipeg's stellar season and home ice dominance. Game 3 and finally, tonight's finale, Utah Hockey Club vs. Seattle Kraken, with the Utah moneyline as the AI pick, banking on Vejmelka's steady presence to deliver the win. 3 games, 3 picks. And now, it's up to you to decide the fate of the ice. Until next time, may your wagers be sharp and your victories sweeter.